Let's go, girls. Come on.
Welcome back. We're still waiting. I'm here with Thomas.
What up?
And resident film expert, Courtney Chin. Courtney, we were talking last week about the Best Picture nominees. I don't think you actually made your call. And now, as we are 7 days closer to the big event, would you like to stake a claim right here, right now?
Wow, so much pressure. Stake a claim.
Yeah.
Okay, so assuming that this is everything, the whole world's on it, like this is my voice matters the most.
Yes, it does.
Honestly, I always divide into two categories. I say what I want to win, and then I say what I think should win, and then actually a third category, and then I think what the Academy will actually go for. I think Oppenheimer will win.
All right.
I think Oppenheimer will definitely win. I mean, Christopher Nolan hasn't won ever for director or Best Picture. I mean,
I actually didn't know that.
So it feels very much like his year.
Do you think that they do that a lot with, like, it's about time for this person to win, even though it's not necessarily who should win?
Yeah, like
not saying that Oppenheimer shouldn't win, but like if it's like I don't know. I feel
it's
like
a makeup award in a way.
Yeah, or like a career. Like I recognize in their career. I feel like that happened with Leo in 2017 or something. Revenant.
Yeah.
I feel like that happened that year.
I love her, but I kind of feel like it happened with Jamie Lee Curtis.
I was just going to say Jamie Lee Curtis was a big example of that in terms of what people were saying.
Yeah,
for Everything Everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, she did great, but did it eclipse the other nominated performances in that category? People weren't sure. Stephanie Hsu was also nominated for the same movie for supporting actress, and people were thinking that she had the better performance.
I think she probably could have made a better case for it. I think Hong Chow in The Whale could have made a better choice for it.
Really?
My personal opinion. I don't remember if I actually saw the newer Wakanda movie, but or Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. But Angela Bassett, I feel like probably could have. That's just a guess.
Yeah, but then again, Jamie Lee Curtis was overlooked for some other roles in her past. I think like Halloween specifically was one of them that people were like, she got no recognition for that, which does lead into something Thomas and I were talking about earlier today. But before we get to that, let's hear all three categories. So we hear what you think is going to win.
Yes.
What would you pick?
So I haven't watched them all still, so I can't really be totally fair, but I'll just go with what I've seen, what I've read, things like that. Okay. I honestly think, okay, we can talk about Barbie separately. I feel like Barbie has its own category of I'm upset, but I'm going to just put that aside for now. I think, honestly, I think Poor Things was the most original movie I've seen in over a year, at least over a year.
Okay.
I think the writing, acting, like everything, the costumes, the whole like set design, it was all just like amazing for that movie. Emma Stone's probably going to win for that movie. So like, I would actually think that one should win. I haven't seen Oppenheimer. I'll say that. And then one that I liked the most, which is never like the one that should win. I really liked The Holdovers. I thought it was like really like real, really very 70s. Like Dead Poet Society. I really like that one.
Well, let's get back to the whole like Jamie Lee Curtis Halloween issue, because it touches on something that like Thomas was asking me about earlier today, and I was like, "Well, I said I think we need to consult the expert."
I wanted to ask Courtney's opinion. What? Yeah. Do you like horror movies, like scary movies?
I like horror, but I don't like gore. You know, like
I don't like gore stuff either. Yeah, but I like scary movies. Do you think why do you think horror movies are snubbed at the Oscars, that they're never nominated? Because I feel like the number one example for me is Toni Collette in Hereditary. I feel like she should have been nominated for something for that. I
think because I pay attention to the Spirit Independent Awards, which is like where A24 shines because they're an indie production. And I'm pretty sure she won a lot in that. Like, I think Hereditary did really well in the indie sphere. So maybe that's part of it. Is like,
wait, so can those movies not be like
No, they
participate
can
in the
be.
Academy?
But
Okay.
like, an indie movie competes with the Oscars, they're competing with like Paramount, Netflix,
Yeah.
like every big like Searchlight, whatever, all these like big production companies. But I think my first thought when you're like, why do horror movies not like really show up a lot in the Oscars? We had Get Out, obviously. They like threw a bone that one year, but there's also like a bad perception of horror movies. Like there was like they made a horror Winnie the Pooh movie. Like,
Oh yeah.
I don't know about that. I
Where
gotta
there's,
Google
like-
this. Hang on. I typed in horror Winnie, and the first series suggested website that comes up says Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2023.
yes,
That's the one. That's the one.
that is it.
So there's a certain, like, part of it could be there's a certain unseriousness that might come with the idea of a horror movie, maybe.
And that movie is not rated.
Of course not.
2.9 out of 10 stars.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's a good question because, like, I really loved the It series. I thought it was like really good, like really well done movie. Like, I also like have watched movies with Bill Skarsgård, I think.
Skarsgård.
Yeah. Yeah. So like the whole time I watched it, I just called him Bill. Every time like the It clown I was like, "Hi, Bill." Like I was like, "That's Bill" every time, as if I know him.
Here was something I was thinking about, Thomas. Like, ultimately, these are just people, even though it's the Academy, and it probably comes down to preference. Like, horror among all the genres is probably the one that like the least people are going to be personal fans of, and that makes it harder to vote for.
It's the most alienating. Like me, I don't like roller coasters. So why would I be rating a roller coaster?
Yeah.
My answer is always going to be no.
Right.
You know, so if they're being asked to rate a scary movie when they don't like scary movies, there's always going to be a no.
I feel like that is probably similar to why comedies don't do that well. Yeah. Because it might not land. Or like, especially because the Academy is international also. So like, if they don't get the humor, it's not going to go anywhere.
Exactly the reason Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar wasn't nominated.
I love that movie.
Although,
that's a perfect airplane movie. I had a great time watching it on an airplane.
Courtney, this was so much fun, and you are always a blast, and thank you for being our expert, bringing some couth to the discussion.
I just want to drop in that, I think I need I need credibility, and so let me just add that I did win my university's, when I worked at a university, Oscar challenge across the entire university, and they made me a little 3D to scale printed Oscar statue with my name on it. So I do have some credibility, but I also don't know what I'm talking about.
First of all, what college did you go to?
Damn. So what year was that you won?
That was Parasite. So that was 2020, I think?
2020 ceremony, 2019
movies, year, 1917. Nice. I watched that movie 3 times that year.
Really?
I love that movie.
Wow. Okay.
But I did pick Parasite.
Is that the one where it's like supposed to be all one shot or something like that?
The one cut World War I. It was I'm a sucker, like a big sucker for cinematography. And they had I forgot the name of the cinematographer, but it was also kind of like his legacy year. So because he had done amazing stuff in the past, I think he did Blade Runner. So like people are like, oh, he should have won like Blade Runner.
What Plum's watching Blade?
Yeah,
I'm watching Blade too.
Also, I feel like I'm probably like factually wrong in half the things I'm saying. So anyway, but these are what I think is accurate. But yeah, so that 1917, amazing.
Yeah, no, but I mean that was a well-deserved cinematography move, because I mean just the choreography of pulling off, like, even if it wasn't all one shot, it was at least a couple of different very long shots, and
I haven't seen choreography like that since the Lee Harvey Oswald prison transfer. Right. And I haven't seen an episode wrapped like this since Crisco wrapped the Pont Neuf. Goodbye.